Good morning, students. Today I am going to take class 6, subject social, topic history, unit 1. What is the topic? What is history? What is history? From this topic we have to discuss these aims. What is history? Understanding the importance of history, lifestyle of prehistoric man, and importance of history and historical research. First, we have to discuss what is history. History means his story, human story. From this topic, we have to discuss about the humans' activities in this past, in the present, and in the future also. So, come to the topic history. In a historical side, history means the study of past events in chronological order. That means we have to study about the past events. What happened in the past, what did they do, where did they live, how did they do their activities regularly, what are the things we have to discuss from this topic. If we go to the history means first we have to learn about the time, because time is very important. How they are calculating the time in this history? Timeline, they use BCE and CE. What is BCE? Before Common Era. What is CE? Common Era. How did they calculate in this history? So CE means it's increased in the right side. Then BCE means before Common Era, it's increased in this left side. From the timing only they are calculating the history. Next, if you go to the history means it's divided into 3. First one is prehistory. Second one is proto-history. Third one is history. First, what is prehistory? It's very important. What is prehistory? Prehistory means, what is prehistory? Prehistory means the period between the uses of stone tools and the invention of writing activities. What is stone tools? Where did they use? How did they use? If you go to the ancient period, they don't know how to use fire, they don't know how to cook. They are using the stones only to prepare the food. From the stones only they do all their activities in their past. So prehistory means the period between the uses of stone tools and the invention of writing skills. Because they are using only the drawings. They lived in caves. In the ancient period, the people, they lived in their caves. So in the caves, they are writing the drawings, the rock drawings. That's what it's called, rock paintings. So in the caves, why did they draw the pictures on the rocks? The few of them, they went to hunting, because their main activity is hunting the animals, because they didn't know how to cook the food. So the main activity is hunting the animals. That's why few of them went to the hunting the animals, then few of them lived in the caves. So when they return to the caves, they, in their free times, they are drawing their activities. What are the things they did in their lives? They draw the pictures on the caves and the rocks. Not only the rocks, in the hardened surfaces. So when they draw the pictures on the rocks, that's called rock paintings. So in this period, the uses of stone tools and the writing activities, this period called prehistory. Second one, proto-history. What is proto-history? In the prehistory, they know very well how to draw the pictures. They are doing the drawings only. But what is proto-history means that they know how to draw the pictures. They know how to write. But that descriptions is not delivered in this period. So that's called proto-history. What is history? Everything. Now in a current situation we know how to write, we know how to store the things, then we know all the things, how to use internet, all the things we know that. So in a history means complete the writing skills. We saved all the things in a mobile, we saved all the things in a internet, mobile, WhatsApp, Facebook, everything. So history means completely written skills. So three types of history. First one is prehistory, second one is proto-history, third one is history. Prehistory means the period between the uses of stones, tools and the writing activities. Proto-history means they know very well how to write. They have a written formats, but it's not in a derivative. History means complete activities, complete written skills. So, in this prehistory, how did they live? Already we have discussed. How did they live? They lived in the caves. They are using the drawings. They draw the pictures on the rocks. They draw the pictures on the caves. So, in a prehistory, how did they protect from the animals? Because already we know that their main activity is hunting the animals. How did they protect from the animals? Now we are living in buildings, house. Our construction works already it's developed because India is nowadays India is a developing country. So we know how to live in a safe life. But in a prehistory, they know how to build a house, they know how to protect from the animals. So they use the dogs to prevent from the other animals. So they use the dogs to hunting their activities as well as they protect from the other animals. Next, what are the sources are important in the prehistory? Now we know very well. We are using books, we are using magazines, we are using so many gadgets in this current situation. But in the prehistory, they are using few things only. The major sources are rock paintings, cave paintings and the stone tools. These are the sources are very important in the prehistory. So if we take in the history, not only prehistory, commonly history means what are the sources are important in this history. We can divide into two, archaeological sources and the literary sources. What is archaeological sources? Again, it's divided into four topics. First one, artifacts. Second one, monuments. Third one, inscription. Fourth one, coin. So if you go to the artifacts means what are the sources? The first one is potteries because they are using the potteries only, pot things only they are using in the prehistory periods. Next one, toys. They are using stone toys. Next, tools. Now we are using knives, sword, everything. Now you are using. But in the prehistory, they are using the stones only to prepare the tools, weapons, to protect from the animals. Next one is ornaments. Ornaments, now we are using silver, gold, diamond, platinum. But in the beginning, they are using the stone ornaments only. So second one is monuments. These are the monuments deliver the prehistory people's activities and the ancient periods, how did they live, what are the things they did. So monuments, palaces, fort, temples, monastery, supta. Palaces means if we take Bangalore, we can see the famous palace, it is in Bangalore. Then fort, Red Fort, it's very important in the country. Temples, if we see in the south side, we can see so many temples. For example, Thanjai Periya Koil, it delivered that Rajaraja Solans, what did they do, how did they help to the poor people, how did they rule the places, everything they deliver in their temples. Then monastery, Subda. Third one is inscription. What is inscription? They wrote something in the hard surfaces, rocks and the caves. First one is rock edicts. They written something in these rocks. Then temple wall inscription. Not only the rock, whatever they build the temple, they have written their own history. How did they rule? Then what are the things they did for the people? Everything, the rule is inscribed in the temple walls. Next one is metal pillars. They use the metal also to deliver their activities. Next one, copper plates. Now we are using books, they have written the palm leaves. Then what are the things? They did in a copper plates to write their histories. If you go to the second part, literary sources, it's now developed. In the beginning, they used the literary sources also. How did they separate the literary sources? They separate into secular literature and the religious literature. What is secular literature? It's poem, epics, and old poems, old epics, then folk songs. In a current, the folk song means in a current situation, particular places, what are the things in a countryside they are using, folk songs and ballads. Works by Indian artists. Now, we know very well about A.R. Rahman, Ilayaraja, they are writing, they are very good music. Then Vijay, some of the very good famous Indian writers are there. In this prehistory periods, they work by Indian actors, Ravindranath Tagore, Bharatiya. Next one is works by Indian authors. They have written lot of books in the prehistory periods. Then account by the foreign travelers. So whoever came to India, they were attracted by the Indians' wealth. So whenever they came to India, they have written so many books about our culture, our traditions. So these are the things, it comes in a secular literature. Next one is religious literature. From epics. Epics means Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, some other things. It's deliver the ancient periods, how did they rule, what are the things they did. Next one is devotional literature. By Nalayiram Divya Prabandham, Devaram, Tiruvasagam, the devotional literatures also, it's delivered the history, it's delivered to the other peoples. So, next, what are the uses of sources of history? So, importance of history and the historical research. What are the importance? Then we have to discuss about Ashoka. Do you know? Have you heard about Ashoka? Who was Ashoka? He was a great emperor. He ruled in the ancient period. He was a very good, the famous, most famous emperor in the ancient period. We know very well. How did they understand about Ashoka? Ashoka has written anything in this written form? No. Because in the ancient period, they didn't write any books. They used only the rock paintings, then cave paintings, then epics and poems only. So now how did we understand about Ashoka? When the foreigners, they came to India. For example, the William Jones, James Spencer, Alexander Cunningham, they have written about Ashoka. Because Ashoka was very famous emperor. Even though he was a very famous emperor, his greatness has not been unknown until 19th century. So these are the material evidence that William Jones, James Spencer, Alexander Cunningham, they revealed the greatness of the Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka. Based on these accounts, the Charles Allen wrote a book titled The Search for the Indian's Last Emperor. He has written the book. They titled the Search of the Last Emperor. From this book, we know very well, we can easily understand about Ashoka. In this Ashoka's period, the Buddhism is spread all over the India. So by this Buddhism, Ashoka was empress. Then he changed his life. He followed the peace in his life. So then what are the other things or importance in the sources of history? That in the Ashoka period, the Sanjay Gupta and Saranath Pillai, they also helped to understand the greatness of the Ashoka. So now come to the conclusion, importance of history and historical research. What is the importance of sources? That source is very important, not only the monuments, inscriptions, all over. artifacts, monuments, inscriptions, coins, secular literature, religious literatures, cave paintings, rock paintings, all the things are very important too. They are playing not only that foreign travelers, they are also play the vital role in the constructing and reconstructing the history. Because by the sources only we can construct a new history. Because in the old people they are using stones. The stone tools only they are using. Can we use the stone tools in a current situation? This is not possible. Because what are the things they use? Then how we can develop the tools in a current based on the current situation. So these are the sources in constructing and reconstructing the history. So from the history we can improve our life, day by day life we can improve. We can construct the new history. We can construct or reconstructing the new history. So again come to the topic, what is history? History is a study of past events in a chronological order. What are the things in happen in a past life? It's a past events in a chronological order. Order by order we can understand our history one by one. Next, again already we have discussed about the three types of history. First one is prehistory, second one is proto-history, third one is history. Prehistory means the period between the uses of stone tools and the written format. Proto-history means they had a written format, they know very well how to write, but the written forms had not been delivered in the current situation. Third one is history. History means it's a complete written forms. We have all the written forms in this history. It's developed in the compared with the ancient periods. Next, what are the lifestyle? What is the lifestyle of prehistory? Then what are the things they did in our prehistory? Then one more time we recall that prehistory means in the ancient period how they spend their life. How did they spend their life? They lived in a caves, they draw the pictures on the walls, they used to draw the paintings on the rocks. That rocks only called rock paintings. Now how did they spend their life in the ancient period? Few of them, they went to hunting. Then very few of them, they stayed in the caves. So when they returned to the caves, they want to deliver the activities, what are the things they did in this full day life, they want to share into the people. So they use the drawings, they convey the message because they didn't know how to write. That's why they use the drawings to convey the message to the other people. That's why they use the drawings. This is their routine activities, their daily activities in this ancient period. Then what are the sources are very important in a prehistory? The stone tools, excavated materials, then caves painting or rock paintings. These are the sources are very important in the prehistory. Then what is proto-history? Already I said, in this proto-history they know very well how to write, they had a written forms, but it's not in delivered in this current situation. History, it's already I said totally complete, they had a complete written forms in this history. So what is the summary of the lesson? That here the lifestyle of prehistory people can be understand the stone tools, rock paintings and the other excavated materials. Then proto-history is the period between the prehistory and the history. So come to the conclusion, closures. What is the meaning of sources? A place, person, text or object from which data can be obtained. That is called sources. Then ancestor. Who is ancestor? A person related to you who lived a long time ago. That people only call ancestor. Then dharma. What is dharma? It's a righteous. Monument. What is monument? A statue or building. That's only called monuments. Then inscription. What is inscription? Already I said in a written records. Inscriptions means in a written records. They have written in the rocks, temple walls, in a pillars. Then historian. Who called historian? The person who exhilated in history. They are only called historian. Okay, thank you students.